Today's story follows two classmates who couldn't stand each other but end up stranded together on a remote island. Forced to work side by side, they must survive both the wilderness and the growing tension between them. Let's dive into this adventurous tale. We begin with Emma, a cheerful girl who wakes up early, bursting with energy as she gets ready for school. She's one of the brightest and most popular students, surrounded by friends who admire her. Meanwhile, there's Dean, lazy, careless, and nothing like Emma. He wakes up late, rushes through brushing his teeth, and immediately returns to his video games. Emma's mom, Barbara, drives Emma and her younger sister Stacy to school. Once there, Emma meets her best friend Liz, and they quickly get into a lively chat. A boy named Stephen walks over to greet Emma, and Liz instantly starts teasing her, making Emma blush. Later in class, their teacher, Mr. Christiansen, announces an exciting school trip to Trinity Island, reminding the students that the bus leaves at 7 a.m. the next day. During lunch, Liz jokes with their friends about Emma and Stephen, insisting the trip might bring them closer. Emma tries to steer the conversation back to the trip, but her friends are too busy plotting her love life. While eating, Emma spots Dean sitting alone, slicing an apple with a small knife. Ms. Collier catches him and scolds him for bringing it to school, dragging him to the principal's office. Liz mutters, "Dean is nothing but trouble." The next morning, Emma happily prepares for the trip, thanking her parents, Barbara and Phil, for letting her go. Dean, however, doesn't want to participate, but his dad firmly reminds him that they worked hard to get him approved. After everything he did, he'd better not waste the opportunity. Reluctantly, Dean agrees. At school, Mr. Christiansen gathers the students onto the bus. Stephen greets Emma when she boards, but Liz immediately pulls her aside, whispering, "Focus on Stephen." After a long journey, the group finally arrives on Trinity Island. Emma and her friends rush to the pool, laughing and splashing around. Stephen joins them, while Dean stays distant, watching from the balcony. Later, one of Emma's friends tells her about a party on a nearby boat. Emma isn't interested at first, but eventually her friends convince her to go. At the party, she searches for Liz, but instead spots Stephen kissing another girl. Heartbroken, she quietly turns to leave, unaware that Dean, standing at a distance, has seen the whole thing. Dean smirks at Emma and says, "Looks like your boyfriend's having the time of his life." Emma snaps back, "This has nothing to do with you, just mind your business." Suddenly, the party spirals out of control as police officers storm onto the boat. They've received reports of students using drugs and immediately force everyone to the front for questioning. In the chaos, Emma loses her balance and tumbles overboard into the dark water. Dean sees her thrashing and, without thinking twice, dives in after her. He drags Emma to safety and spots a small boat tied to the main one. He helps her climb in, then quickly cuts the rope. Emma stares at him, shocked. "Why did you cut it?" Dean replies, "I'm not sticking around for a police raid. We'll wait it out and return after they leave." But their plan instantly falls apart. Dean realizes the little boat doesn't even have a motor. Before they can react, a powerful wave crashes over them, tossing their tiny boat violently. They cling on through the night as the storm batters them. By morning, the ocean is calm again, but they're drifting in open water with no idea where they are. Dean reaches for his phone only to remember he left it behind. Emma checks hers, but there's no signal. Frustrated, she groans, "If we just stayed on the party boat, we wouldn't be in this mess." Dean shrugs, trying to stay upbeat. After a while, Emma spots something in the distance, a small island. She points, and Dean immediately starts paddling with his hands. After fighting the current for ages, they finally reach the shore. Exhausted but relieved, they step onto the sand. Emma checks her phone again, still hopping for a signal, but nothing. Dean rummages through the boat and finds a flare gun, slipping it into his pocket. They agree to explore the island in hopes of finding help. As they trek deeper into the forest, they discover a stunning waterfall. Dean stares in awe. "This is amazing. You should take a picture." Emma glares at him. "Seriously? We're stranded on an island and you think this is a sightseeing trip?" Dean laughs. "Relax, Emma. We'll find a way out. Might as well appreciate something while we're here." Meanwhile, back at the hotel, an angry Mr. Christiansen cancels the rest of the trip because of the students' behavior. Liz nervously approaches Ms. Collier and admits, "I haven't seen Emma since last night. I thought she stayed with someone, so I didn't say anything sooner." Alarmed, Ms. Collier alerts Mr. Christiansen, who takes attendance and discovers that not only Emma, but Dean as well, are missing. Police are called in and they begin questioning Emma's friends. When asked whether the missing students could have ended up in the water, an officer explains that it's possible, but if they're stranded somewhere out at sea, finding them will be extremely difficult. At the same time, Dean's father, Jack, and Emma's parents, Barbara and Phil, are notified. They rush to the school demanding answers, but the principal has none. Back on the island, Emma and Dean press on through the thick forest. They walk for hours until they reach the island's far edge, scanning desperately for any sign of human life, but the place is completely deserted. Realizing they have no other options, Emma and Dean decide to return to their boat, but when they reach the shore, they're stunned to find it gone. Powerful waves must have carried it off during the night, leaving only a life jacket behind. Tired and discouraged, they sit down, unsure of what to do next. As the sun sets, Dean gathers dry sticks and manages to start a small fire. They decide to spend the night there. Noticing Emma shivering in the cool breeze, Dean takes off his shirt and hands it to her. The next morning, Dean wakes up and panics when he sees Emma missing. He runs around searching for her until he spots her near the shore, carving large letters in the sand. Dean heads toward the ocean to cool off with a swim, while Emma watches him quietly. Back at the hotel, Mr. Christiansen meets with both families. He informs them that the police are searching the sea and have found signs of a small boat drifting. Jack, Dean's father, grows impatient and suggests hiring a private rescue team, but Mr. Christiansen urges him to trust the authorities. On the island, Emma looks for water when she suddenly feels someone watching her. Uneasy, she hurries away. When she finds Dean again, they begin gathering branches and leaves to build a small hut for shelter. They also work together to create a giant SOS message on the beach, hoping a rescue team might spot it from above. To survive, they explore the island for food and end up eating whatever they can find. Dean discovers a banana tree and grabs a few for both of them. The heat becomes unbearable, so Emma cuts her long pants into shorts. That evening, as Dean naps inside their hut, Emma lies down beside him. In his sleep, Dean rolls toward her and places his hand on her. The next day, Emma bathes beneath the waterfall. When Dean approaches asking for sunscreen, Emma snaps, "I'm bathing here, go somewhere else." Dean smirks and says, "You told me to keep watch for safety, so here I am." Emma frowns. "I only said that because I think someone else is on this island. We're not alone." Back at the hotel, news of Emma's disappearance spreads. The police inform her parents that the chances of finding the two alive are low, and that the search may soon shift toward recovering bodies. The update devastates Barbara, and Phil tries to comfort her. Jack refuses to wait. He hires a helicopter and invites Barbara to join him as they search the sea from above. On the island that night, Emma tells Dean how much she misses her family. While trying to cheer her up, Dean wanders around and accidentally discovers a human skull. Emma panics at the sight. "This must have been someone stranded here. Look what happened to him. What if that happens to us?" Dean tries to calm her. "He was probably a fisherman or smuggler who washed up here. We're not like him. People are looking for us. We're not alone. I promise we'll survive." He leans in and kisses her. For Emma, it's her first kiss. As the night deepens, Dean grows bolder in his affection, crossing boundaries they'd never imagined. For the first time, Emma feels the wild intensity of something completely new. By morning, Emma wakes up and realizes Dean is gone. She calls out for him until she finds him digging a pit. Confused, she asks what he's doing, but before he can answer, she trips and scrapes her knee. Dean quickly tends to her wound, reassuring her she'll be okay. Later, by the waterfall, he opens up about his mother's death in a car accident. Emma listens closely, touched by how honest and vulnerable he becomes. As rain begins to fall, Dean starts playing in it, and Emma eventually joins him. They laugh, dance, and enjoy a rare, carefree moment together. Dean tucks a flower into Emma's hair, making her smile. "I want to enjoy the storm again," Emma says. Dean grins and begins preparing for another adventurous night. Meanwhile, a full month has passed since their disappearance. The police officially declare Emma and Dean presumed dead and end the search, but Barbara and her friend refuse to lose hope. She organizes another search effort with Jack, handing out flyers with their photos. After days of trying, Jack quietly tells her, "We've done everything we can. Maybe it's time to go home." Devastated, Barbara agrees, though doubt still weighs heavily on her heart. Back on the island, Dean tells Emma about a mysterious green light his mother once described, a glow said to appear at sunset. They decide to watch for it together, giving them a new sense of purpose. Weeks pass and the two grow closer, finding comfort in each other and in the island's beauty. They become intimate whenever they wish, sharing stories and moments. One afternoon, Emma asks Dean about his first intimate experience. He laughs and says it was with an older friend back in school. When he asks Emma how she felt, she blushes and admits it was good. They laugh together, and Emma says she wants more experience, to which Dean happily agrees. While foraging for fruit, they suddenly hear the distant hum of an airplane. They race to an open space. Dean searches Emma's bag for the flare gun, but it's gone. The plane flies away before they can signal it, leaving them crushed. Later, Emma notices more items missing. A frightening thought hits her. "Dean, I think someone else is on this island. Someone been stealing from us." Days go by, but no other planes appear. Still stranded, Dean and Emma sit inside their hut, considering whether it's time to give up hope of ever returning home. They decide to accept their situation and spend more time exploring the forest. Suddenly, Dean hears an animal nearby. He heads into the trees, and Emma follows, worried. Deep in the forest, Dean comes face to face with a black panther. He runs for his life, and after a frantic chase, he falls. When Emma reaches him, she sees Dean gripping a blood-soaked knife. He had killed the panther in self-defense. Back home, their families and friends struggle to move on. But on the island, Emma and Dean adapt fully, learning to hunt, build, and survive together. They stop expecting rescue and build a life in their hut. One evening, as they rest, Emma spots familiar items dropping from above. They look up to see a mischievous monkey in a tree tossing down their belongings, including the missing flare gun. Emma offers the monkey a banana, and in exchange, it throws the flare gun to her. Just then, the sound of a helicopter rumbles across the sky. Emma and Dean dash into the open. Emma fires the flare, and the helicopter spots the bright signal. After 3 long months, they're finally rescued. When they return home, their families greet them joyfully at the airport. Emma and Dean go back to their separate houses. That night, Dean visits Emma to talk about how strange it feels being home again. He leans in to kiss her, but Emma pulls away, explaining that her parents have been watching her closely. She invites him to a party her parents are hosting to celebrate their return. At the party, Emma's parents give a heartfelt speech. Stacy asks Dean why he's standing alone. Dean quietly signals for Emma to come over, but she ignores him. Hurt, he slips out of the celebration. After returning, Emma becomes widely admired and gains attention from everyone, but Dean remains distant and isolated, unsure of where he fits in her new life. Whenever Emma and Dean cross paths, they exchange nothing more than a quick, distant glance. A few days later, Emma tries calling him, but he doesn't pick up. Stacy enters Emma's room and says softly, "After you disappeared, we missed you so much. Mom and Dad were devastated. We thought we'd lost you forever. But now that you're home, it finally feels like everything is right again." Emma hugs her and replies, "You're such a good sister," and the two decide to attend prom together. Meanwhile, Dean visits his mother's grave. He breaks down in tears, remembering her and everything he's been through. On the night of the prom, he sits at home watching TV until his father walks in and asks if he wants to wear his coat to the event. At the venue, Emma arrives with Stacy. Liz grabs Emma's hand excitedly and leads her outside for a surprise. There, Emma sees Dean standing in the rain, waiting for her. The sight instantly brings back memories of their moments on the island. Emma, overwhelmed, steps out to meet him. Dean and Emma reunite, and as they move closer, they share a heartfelt kiss, their joy and relief clear in their faces. They wrap their arms around each other, hugging and dancing together in the rain, ending their love story. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for more movie recaps.